welcome back to Tricks to the Trades. We're going to tackle this yard. Got my wife learning the excavator. She's not doing too bad. She's only driven it forward and backwards, so considering that, she's doing pretty good. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the sand mound. We're going to take up this pipe that runs from my bucket up to that dirt pile and check it out and see what's wrong. I think it's in backwards. And we've got to regrade this yard and run drainage. So that's what our goal is. And we'll go from there. All right, let's see what we can tear up. Throwing her in the deep end. I was up here riding with her, trying to show her how to do solid dirt. And so she just dropped in there. You go along and you don't dig, and all of a sudden you really got to dig hard. And then when you dig hard, it starts going to China really fast. And so then you got to raise it. And so it's a lot of controls up and down. She's struggling and not liking it, but I don't blame her, because, you know, soft dirt, piece of cake. This is definitely a challenge. She does want to cut in, and as soon as it cuts in, she gets scared, so she raises the blade up. You can see the angle of that blade's pretty steep, so it'll cut. We're going a little better on that turn, on that run, a little bit. Oh yeah. Look at that. She moved something. All right. I loosened it up for her. No, she did good. Alright, I'm going to move some stuff out of the way over here, so eventually I want to bring all that in here. We thought there would be some topsoil in there, but there's no topsoil. You can see, it's just all dirt. So we're not even going to strip it. Just pile it all up here for now. What we got done, I dug out some rocks. Ooh, man. This one here was just the tip of the iceberg sticking out, like maybe that much, and it was going to hit the bucket of the skid steer when I was trying to clear out some of the dirt and stuff. Dug that out, and I'll tell you what, that was all the Mini can handle. I mean, it struggled. I should have filmed that. It struggled digging that out of the ground and getting it out of the hole, but it got her out with a lot of effort. But nice rock. Found another one over there, dug that one out. The rest of these were laying around in that big pile that we took out, but whatever chips we had, I just threw down for a path. This stuff don't rake out with the skid steer. You'd think it would just fluff out like that, but it won't. It just piles. Nothing comes out, and then all of a sudden, poop. I don't know if it's slightly damp or what, but I mean, they can rake it out, but it needs a little touch up. We just made the path meander all the way down and around, and a little bit down over the hill, and it looks a lot cleaner and neater, I must say. It'll fill in. It'll be nice. It'll be a nice little path for them. All right, today we tackled a pipe, find out what's going on. We finally cleared out everything enough where we can work here. We got rid of that dumpster. Still a little bit of trash. Chris is back. He's gonna try to fill some of that, take some of that and put it in the dumpster. But I had him put them over here because it's supposed to rain next week, and I don't really want to have them in here tearing everything up because it will be wet. But Chris is gonna just kind of make a one run through here or so with the machine just to kind of clear off a little bit of the sod. To get, if I can get the smooth bucket, I'd rather dig the pipe up with that. We'll see. Hopefully JR comes and gets another load. A couple loads there left. I took a load again last night. Took so much wood. But what I started out doing up here is I kind of scratched this open. See what we got. And you can see it kind of wants to run around the pipe. Instead of in it, we're gonna probably get a I don't forget exactly what you call it, but basically it's an entrance for the pipe there. Oh wow, Mosby, Conjola. I never heard of that. Medicine. Huh? That's cool. Keep that. Little girl likes old bottles. Found a whole bunch of bottles back there, but nothing any great. So anyway, see what's going on with this pipe. Like I said, it seems to me like they got it in backwards. We'll see. Needless to say, I need to tighten up the fan belt. This pipe is junk. I don't see how I could have done that. I really don't, even though there's rocks in here. Here's the thing, they put these bands around here, and there's no bells, at least not right here. But these holes had to have been there because that's right where it was popping up through the ground, where the water was coming up. And actually right here, they had a bunch of gravel floated in here where it was running up. So I'm thinking that was there. I don't know, but it's not good. I can't sling this dirt far enough, so this is got enough to move it for me. Came up with a plan. Well, it's a good plan, but it's a plan. So all that pipe down in here was destroyed. It was only 15 inch. We got some other 1.5 inch pipe running under here. I have no idea what these people did. But anyway, we cleaned that out, cut it, cleaned it out, got it all ready for new pipe. And if I need to, I can scab on a little bit more if I need to. And then we're gonna run a 6-inch pipe all the way down because you don't think the drainage is a real problem. We need to do better head wall and make another little pipe. We're going to be perforated to catch all the runoff. It should work. Well, I'll tell you what, this was the right call. This stuff is garbage. There is a piece of a lawn chair and all kinds of different scrap pieces and junk in there, and it's, I mean, I wonder if it's wet and nasty. It's just all garbage. So we're going to put that 6-inch pipe across here, and I gotta come down a little bit there. But setting up the transit was a little bit fussy for the first time. I hit the grate over there, tried to figure out what it would be down here, and ended up having to adjust it with the remote. It was 5.69% slope downhill. But as low as we are right there in the ground right there, that pipe that come across that 15-inch, we should have hit it. So that tells me when they laid their pipe, they bellied it down in there. So that's another problem for that flow. It's probably laying in the pipe half the time. Not good. These people didn't do nothing right, I swear. All right, let me get this cleaned up and get the pipe there. Well, that was a real mess. I mean, everything's wrong about it. But we meandered around because they ended up bumping into the pipe there. Their pipe goes up and down, and then it walks way over here and then snakes back. It's crazy what they did. And bellies, but anyway, yeah, we were right at that level, so I moved over a little bit. But anyhow, we're still on target. We're doing good. Everything's working out. But over here last night, we put that pipe in. The bell would not fit on here. Different brand pipes, it just wouldn't fit. We tried. And so we ended up, there was a collar there anyway. There's ones, there are two parts and a zip tie. You can see the zip tie sticking up there. So we flipped the pipe around and we zip tied it like that with their collar. It was in there before. And I told Pat, get some concrete. It'll lock the pipe in, keep it from ever pushing out, and it'll seal up any little gaps and stuff like that. So he just went and got some fabric. We're going to lay some fabric in the ditch. We'll put some gravel down, put a little fabric, wrap the pipe, and back to some more gravel. And did I say I'm tired? I am tired. We've been going so hard because we got rain coming and we got to get this done. So bear with me. Whew, that's humid. Anyway, we got a river now, a river of stone. So if that doesn't flow, I don't know what will. Because we decided we're not only going to put geotextile down, a little gravel, and then the pipe, gravel over. You know, let's cover it with more geotextile, or fill it with gravel all the way to the surface, which I kind of like that idea. But we just pop that joint together, but they're kind of not staying as much as I'd like. So Pat's got the idea of putting some tape on, at least kind of hold it together. And once we get the stone in there and everything, it'll be all right. But can't push it any more than we are. So once we bottomed out. All right. Anyway, I kind of like the idea of stone all the way up to the surface, and then that whole area we're going to raise that dirt up on either side of it, and the stone, of course. And then this will be less of a bowl. And I'm going to probably take some of this off, push it up this way, because it don't need to be this high over here. Anyway, that's our plan. At least on a positive note, we got some riprap, 3-inch stone, whatever you want to call it. I had to have him dump it. It was wet this morning, so he dumped it right over there. And we had to haul it over there, and unfortunately, you're gonna get a little dirt in it. But that's okay. We're just using it for that little bay up there for the catch for the water. Got another load of gravel, although I don't think we really needed it because we've got that 4-inch line, but we're gonna get a 1 foot bucket for that, so we might need less. But I don't know, we'll use it somewhere, I'm sure. But we got her filled all the way up. Got a lot of this dirt moved. Try to make it so that if it rains, it won't come down in here and run off, because it is going to rain for the next 2 days. So I think we're fairly rain ready. We've got all our pipes hooked back in. Those were the downspout lines that we broke, which were a mess. So now everything is all right to here. There's a little 6-inch over there. I'm going to probably cut all those about the same and just take some of this area out of here and clean it up. Make like a little catch here too. Alright, well, being it's going to rain, we won't be back for a couple days anyway. Stay tuned. See ya.